Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back to the van. I want to show you this CARISTA or CARISTA. It's a little app controlled Bluetooth interface for your ODB port, and it gives you the ability to do some marvelous things which you might actually pay someone else in a garage to do for you. Let's say, for instance, you had an airbag light come on. This actually was my problem. I removed the front seat of the vehicle in order to put a battery underneath the front seat, a leisure battery for the van. And in doing so, I disconnected a little airbag connector and then reconnected it later on. The Volkswagen system just went ahead and latched that fault, which ultimately meant that I couldn't clear the fault. This little bad boy here, which I think was all of 10 quid plus maybe a 20 or 30 pound yearly membership fee, this little bad boy let me clear that fault. It also allowed me to enable the beep noise when I pressed the alarm button. It allowed me to turn on the little swingy dials thing, which is quite cool. So it also allowed me to turn off the seatbelt alarm, which is actually quite useful in some instances, perhaps when you're doing a short reverse, or maybe when you're on a campsite and you're driving around at sort of 5 or 10 miles an hour and you don't really need your seatbelt on. So there's many little customizations that it gives you the ability to be able to do. This device comes in a tiny little box like this, and you plug this guy straight into your ODB2 port. I'll show you where that is in a few seconds. And then you download a little app, and once you've downloaded the app, then you can get in there and start tinkering with your stuff. So give us a few seconds and I'll show you around some of the features. It's really quite useful. Alrighty then, so you can leave that bad boy plugged in. Next thing you want to do is download the app. It's quite easy. It's just called CARISTA. So look for that in the App Store or in the Google Play Store. Then take your key, plug it in the ignition. Turn the key to the first position. Then the ignition's turned on. Then fire up the app on your phone. Make sure Bluetooth's turned on. And with a bit of luck, your phone will start talking to your CARISTA device, and your CARISTA will start talking to your ECU and all of the other computers that are in your car. Now this is compatible with many different systems. You'll notice here then there are 0 faults detected. Great news. Let's go to the customise section and see what we can play with. So right now then it's checking the vehicle for the available customizations. Here we are. All right, so we've got doors, windows and remote. So this gives you then the ability to auto lock the doors when moving method A and method B. There must be a couple of different things. Auto lock the doors when key is taken out of the ignition. Auto unlock the doors when key is taken out of the ignition. Auto lock the trunk when moving. Unlock the trunk when doors are unlocked. There's a lot of stuff here that you can adjust. Blink turn signals when locking, unlocking with the remote. Beep when locking with the remote. Beep when unlocking with the remote. Beep when the alarm is armed. Unlock the doors with the remote. All doors on the first press. Enable settings for opening, closing windows and sunroof. Open, close windows via long press on the remote. That's actually quite a useful function. If you press and hold the lock button on your key, it will lock all of the windows as the doors. If you press and hold the unlock button, it will open all of the windows. I find this particularly useful in the summer. So the windows come down and everything cools off as you're approaching the car. So there's many different options there. Let's have a look at the instruments. So you can change the cluster language, which country you're in, temperature units, distance units, speed display units, pressure display units. Many options here, including the seatbelt warning, which you'll notice that I've got disabled at the moment. Turn on the day running lights or turn them off. Turn off the daytime lights. Coming home lights, leaving home lights, blah blah. There's so many. Flash brake lights when emergency stopping. Yes, so get people's attention a little bit more. Brake lights work when the ignition is off. Yes, that's always a good option. And the key thing for me was the ability to be able to diagnose the faults and reset faults. So this is the service menu. We can reset the oil service, we can reset the inspection service. I don't really want to do that at the moment. Then we can get some detailed information about the ECU, which is the engine control unit. Basically the computer that looks after all of the other computers that are on the CAN bus. Boom! And then finally, Volkswagen, we get to look at the emission tests. There's a little joke there, in case you didn't know. Volkswagen had a recent liability issue with emissions tests. Very naughty. Anyway, so there's loads of stuff here. You can check your boost pressure for the turbo, the exhaust gas return valve or variable valve timing system. I think that might be a variable valve timing system. But yeah, basically, and then obviously there's the cat there as well. So really, very, very cool bit of kit. Tells you an awful lot about your car, about your van. In my case, this is a Volkswagen T6 Transporter. But it tells you an awful lot about your car, about your system. From my perspective, it comes well recommended because it gives you the ability to reset some of those service codes. So for instance, if you had an steering angle sensor failure, or if you had an airbag failure and you needed to reset that, this does the job, and it does it on so many different vehicles. So anyway, just to remind you, the reason why I bought this little CARISTA system was because I needed to reset my airbag lights after I'd made some modifications to the van, and I did and I didn't want to take it all the way into the dealer or to a garage to have someone plug in their computer and charge me 50 quid. This was easily cheaper than 50 quid, and I'm definitely going to use it a lot more in the future. On top of that, it's given me the ability to be able to customize my van and make it how I want it to be. Thanks all for watching. Take care. Have a wonderful week and weekend. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. Give us a good old thumbs up, and we'll see you on the next one. Cheers and beers. Bye for now. Take care, people. Have a magnificent week and weekend. Cheers and beers, everyone.